This is actually unclear, and there were a lot of misleading media reports about this. Actually, if you look back at the white papers in 2014, it was 40 kilos. And then starting with the 2016 one up until 2021, it always mentioned 50. This means that the previous administration was writing this under the premise that North Korea has not been producing or reprocessing the plutonium for that period of time, which overlapped with the detente period as well. So it doesn't mean necessarily that the 20 kilos were just during the 2-year period, but it could be more than that. And experts are saying that it actually could be even more than just 70 kilos plutonium stockpile.
Now, the reason why South Korea did this was basically because they thought that the North would not have been were not producing plutonium during a certain time of diplomatic processing when the two countries were in talks with one another. Talk me through the South's reasoning behind that. Why would they have decided to have trusted North Korea outright in that situation?
Well, the white paper does not directly say that this is based on certain premise like that, but you can read between the lines when you see the 50 kilos staying as it is. But at the time, North Korea was, when they were doing summits, the South Korea, North Korea, and the US, North Korea was talking about how they might freeze Jeongmin, and they also freeze other nuclear facilities. And it's never really clear what actually happened. Some experts believe that North Korea continued reprocessing and producing in Yeongbyon facilities, although a lot of media reports were suggesting instead, including this white paper, that the Yeongbyon facilities actually resumed in 2021.
Mm-hmm. And what's been the reaction there in Seoul to these numbers?
From the government point of view, this is being cited as the supporting evidence that North Korea has an increased and continuing focus on North Korea increasing their investments into how they want to solidify their alleged role as a nuclear weapons state, which they made into the law in September last year, and that it's very threatening. But it depends on how you interpret the plutonium part. Some people see that plutonium could be easily used very efficiently for creating the warheads used for tactical nuclear weapons, lower yield, and the miniaturized versions. But we'll have to keep an eye on the further developments in North Korea regarding this.
Now, the white paper has also noted that North Korea's conventional weapons remain the same in number and they continue to age and deteriorate. But does that make them any less of a threat?
I think it depends on how you see the capabilities and where it will be used. Although when you look at the chart in the white paper, it states that a lot of arsenal, when it comes to numbers, quantitatively, they outnumber a lot of South Korean arsenal. But because of that, South Korea has been focusing on asymmetric capability, cyber, and a lot of high-tech weapon systems that can deter North Korea. So I don't think number necessarily means that they are more threatening, but South Korea's focus on what kind of arsenal they will be developing in light of the recent North Korean development of shorter range tactical nuclear weapon capable delivery system, it will be very important.
Now, your organisation has also been reporting on growing evidence suggesting that North Korea could be on the brink of famine. What kind of indicators have you come across?
Well, a little disclaimer here is that the story was Yonhap News Agency in South Korea. They first broke the story citing an anonymous government source, and we could not verify who exactly they have been talking to. The initial report was talking about, per the source, that there has been mass famine and starvation in Kaesong, the inter-Korean border town in North Korea. But so far, if you just look at the circumstantial evidence, there has been an ongoing border lockdown in North Korea, starting with the onset of COVID-19, and they still hasn't fully resumed trade with other countries yet, including China. So there are circumstantial evidences like that, but when it comes to especially Kaesong, I don't think we can say very clearly and confidently that there is a sort of starvation going on.
Now, there are even suggestions that the increased presence of Kim Jong-un's daughter, Kim Jong-a, is meant to be a distraction from this crisis. Just how prevalent has she become in the public eye over there?
Well, it's really two questions in there. I think when it comes to Kim Ju-ae, the daughter first of all, we don't know if that's her actual name. That was because of Dennis Rodman when he visited Pyongyang. But when it comes to her presence and why North Korean media keeps her in the spotlight of state media appearance in the past 5 occasions, it seems the overarching focus is to stress the importance of the fourth generation Pictu bloodline in general, and then to solidify the national unity under that kind of hierarchical hereditary succession regime that Kim Jong-un wants to continue. So it seems like it's serving propaganda purposes and also to provide something for the people to talk about when it comes to when I talked to defectors in South Korea, they said that when they see the daughter, the first thing they thought of was, oh, she's like a celebrity. She just looks like her mom. It's not as much as they immediately start thinking that she's a successor, like some experts suggested.
That was my next question to you. There seems to be a lot of, as you mentioned in your answer there seems to be a lot of things that we don't quite know about her. Is she likely to be in the mix at all when it comes to succeeding her father?
I have had a lot of disagreeing interesting conversations with other experts on this. There are many interpretations on whether or not she is a tapped successor or having the likelihood of becoming a successor one day. But it seems there are a lot of limitations when it comes to just judging that she is already a successor. First of all, North Korea is a patrilineage country where the Kim families are based on sons, basically. So it will cause dilemma for North Korea to continue a 5th generation Kim Pictu bloodline regime if they actually tap her as a successor. Second of all, Kim Jong-un is very young, still late 30s, and this daughter is apparently somewhere around 10-year-old. So it seems like it's still a little too premature to see if she is already a successor. Thirdly, when it comes to her state media appearances so far, although Kim Jong-un also did on-site inspection recently on econ-related facilities, she was only accompanying the leader when it comes to military capability-related events like the military parade, meeting the military officials, dining with the top generals, and so on and so forth. And the way she was first presented was when the North Korean leader was visiting the ICBM site. So it seems that rather than pointing to just the successor part, it seems the focus is to show that Kim Jong-un is not willing to give up on nuclear weapons and the missiles, and the daughter serves as a propaganda purpose right now to show that the country is doing all of this despite the potential starvation and the economic difficulties to provide security for the next generation like this child.
There's always so many things at play. Jeongmin Kim, we really appreciate your time taking us through all that. Thank you.
Thank you.